Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and today I have a pretty exciting video for you guys today. Now, everybody knows that I've been playing PokeMMO for almost 10 years, but my cash stack is only at around 1.3 mil, and that seems quite low for how long I've been playing. Now, today, I have a question to be answered. What is my net worth? How much Pokeyen do I have within items in my bag, within Pokemon in my PC, everything combined? How accurately can we judge the value of my account in Pokeyen? Now, this is absolutely not going to be exactly accurate. It's going to be a hard guesstimate, but I'll try to touch everything. And I'm also bound to just forget certain items or certain things. And calculating the price of all of the Pokemon in my PC, that would take so long. So I'm just going to do an average, depending on how many competitive Pokemon I have. Maybe doing 50k for each competitive Mon, for example. I'd rather keep things on the lower end and have my guesstimate be conservative rather than kind of going overboard and getting a bigger, more inflated number. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to calculate every little thing in my bag, for example. Like, I'm not going to worry about the repels or the lures or whatever. It might be a couple extra 100k, but we can calculate these ocarinas at around 500k a piece. So that's an easy 2 mil right there. Let's bring up the Windows calc. Alright, there's my good friend, the Windows Calc, the #1 sponsor of this channel. Let's go ahead and get that 2 million right on there to start us off. Now, I know that Everstones are around 5k a piece, so that's an easy around 125k right there as well. We'll add that. And there's a lot of junk items here, probably a lot of stuff that I'm going to skip, but the first notable item is the Assault Gear, which I believe is around 130k. Looks like around 115k at the moment. It will be important to acknowledge that these are prices based of the current time of recording. Things might be slightly different at the time you're watching. The next relevant item is the Binding Band. This is a pretty niche item. It increases the power of things like Fire Spin and such. It was used for an event at some point. It's around 60k. That would be a tough sell though. Might take a while, to be honest. And then the next item after that, the next relevant item, ends up being the Choice Scarf. And that reminds me that pretty much all of my choice items, all my bands, scarves, specs, are on Pokemon within my PC. So let's calculate all of those really quick. I'll just count up how many there are, and I'll give them all a value of 100k. Alright, I have a pretty huge amount of choice items. So I have 1 in this box, as well as 1 in my bag. So that's 2, and then 3 for this Darmanitan, 4, 5 in this box, 6 here, and then all the way back in box 1, we go from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10, 11, 12, 13. I have quite a few choice items. So 13 choice items at 100k a piece equals 1.3 mil. We'll go ahead and add that over to the price check. That really does add up pretty quickly, I guess. I wanted to always make sure I had an abundance of those items. Now, some other expensive PvP items that I might want to factor in while I'm going ahead and doing these numbers is Rocky Helmet, Life Orb, and I believe Eviolite is another one that I want to check out. So I'm going to look for all of those items and try to give you guys some numbers on those. Alright, I do have 2 Rocky Helmets in my PC, so they're around 70k a piece, so that's plus 140k right there. Now on to Life Orbs. Seems like all of my Life Orbs are in this one box right here. I do seem to have 4 Life Orbs. Let's see how much they're going for at the moment. Around 80k a piece, so 80 times 4 was at 320k. Let's go ahead and add that. Make sure we also check the bag for any other Life Orbs or Rocky Helmets. There's 1 more Life Orb in the bag, so that will be plus an extra 80k. Glad I double checked. No more Rocky Helmets here. Now on to Eviolites. Do I have any in the bag? Doesn't look like it. Let's check the PC. I seem to have 2 Eviolites, 1 here on my Rhydon and then 1 on my Golbat over here. So 2 Eviolites at around 112k a piece. So we'll do 224k for that, so plus 2k over on the calculator. Currently sitting at 4.3 million, still pretty low. But back to the bag for the time being. We're not going to worry about Damp Rocks. Those are pretty much worth nothing. The next relevant items are going to be the XP shares. We got 6 of those, and they go for around 40k a piece. So that's around 240k if I'm not mistaken in XP shares. We'll go ahead and add that. You guys can always check my math in the comments down below. I know you will. And always remember, if you find yourself enjoying today's content, if you like seeing PokeMMO stuff like this, remember to like the video to let me know and subscribe for more daily videos like this every single day. Let's go move on to the next item, which I believe is going to be leftovers, surprisingly. Ice rocks actually have a little bit of a price. We can check ice and heat rocks. Honestly, the price on these rocks have kind of gone down, so I'm not going to worry about them. So moving on over to leftovers, and I'm sure that I have a ton of leftovers in my PC. They're around 40k a piece. So I've got 1 leftovers in my bag, 1 leftovers on my shiny Stunfist, and then if we carry on, I have 2 leftovers in total, 3 leftovers in total, 4 leftovers in total, 5, 6, 7 leftovers. So that's going to be plus 280k if I'm not mistaken over on the calculator, putting us at 4.8 mil so far. Alright, now moving on, most of these items don't have too much value, like the stack of light balls might, but once again, I'm not really worried about calculating the small stuff. I'm going to try to stick to all the big stuff if possible. Now, I do know that the smooth rocks might have value. I'll check those. The next big thing is probably going to be the wise glasses. These actually have some, these are untradeable though, so actually we can move on from those. And smooth rocks seem to have also lost their value over the years. So you know what? Moving on, now we get to the good stuff. Now we get to a lot of the investments and these boost items, charms and everything. This is going to be the big money. So we have 71 amulet coins at 15k a piece. That puts us at plus 1,065k. So let's make sure we type this correctly. 1,065k like that. Perfect. Never make a mistake with the calculator. Moving on, we do have some battle point charms. I don't know if these will be worth to calculate. We'll double check. Wow, these are actually worth a lot more than I expected. Looks like 50% going for around 27k. I have 10 of those. So that's an easy plus 270k. Those ended up being a lot more worth than I expected. I think I bought these for like 5k a piece or something absurd. Battle points charm 100%. How much are those? Seems like those are 62k at the lowest. So that's 60k or so times 3. We'll do plus 185k. That'll be around accurate enough. Moving on, we have the donator statuses. These are huge. We have 1 7-day ticket going for plus 1.3 mil. That's always super easy to add on. You love to see it. And we have the 30-day ticket as well. The cheapest 30-day ticket at the moment is around 4 mil. So that's a big 4 mil chonker added to the price check, putting us up to over 10 mil now. Almost 12 mil, 11.7 million. And then we've got some XP charms, which honestly aren't worth too much at the moment. I'm not even sure if I'm going to worry about them. Maybe I'll check the 100%, but it seems a little extra. Go ahead and double check, I guess. Let's parentheses plus 100. They are 35k a piece, and I have, what, 5 of them? I guess that is 175k. I guess that's worth adding. We'll throw that over on the calculator, plus 175k. Moving on over to the richest charms. This is a lot. Now we're at the good stuff. Now I have around how many of these? 173 richest charms, and they're going for around 38k a piece at the moment, putting us at a whopping 6,574,000 worth in richest charms. You can see that being added on the calculator right now. There you go, putting us at 18,453,000. The shiny charm value is also quite a large stack. I think more so than the richest charms. 34 shiny charms at 300k a piece comes to a whopping value of 10,200,000 Pokeyen. Let's go ahead and add that over on the price check. All right, there you go. Should look a little something like this, 28,653,000. And now we've covered the basic big stuff. Let's get to the big stuff, the investments. This is stuff that I've bought at a cheaper price at some point to eventually sell years down the line to hopefully make some large, long-term profits. Let's start with the cakes. Got 2 cake particles, go for around 64k or so. We'll add a 130k right there to calculate for that. Pretty easy stuff. But now the chests. I have hundreds of anniversary chests. How many is this exactly? It is how many stacks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14 full stacks. 14 stacks of 99 plus 1, leaving us with a total of 1,387 anniversary chests. This number times the 31k price they go for gives us a Pokeyen value. This seems really high, way more than I expected, of almost 43 million. 42,997k Pokeyen. Did I calculate that correctly? I'm gonna double check. Yeah, I guess I did. That's almost, I'm in a state of shock. I didn't realize how much money. I know that the anniversary chests are my favorite investment, the thing that I've put the most money into. I did not expect it to be almost 43 million Pokeyen worth. That's absurd. Adding that to the calculator as such, putting us at a total net worth of 71.7 million at the moment. Unironically flabbergasted by that. But moving on, we have 19 golden chests times the 70k price. That's going to put us at around 1.3 million worth of the golden chests. 1.330k to be exact, so it should look like this, putting us at 73 million so far. But that is it for most of the anniversary stuff, my favorite event that I've enjoyed investing in so far the most. Now we can move on. The next item I want to calculate is just these 2 eerie Hal particle effects. Probably my favorite, if not at least one of my favorite particle effects in the game. It was a pretty big deal when they came out. They're around 320k or so, 310k at the moment. And I have 2 of them, so that's a pretty easy plus 620k. Nothing crazy, still a big number, but nothing crazy compared to everything I just calculated. Now moving on to the goodie bags, and I actually have a couple goodie bags of different years. So from this stack to this stack is 2022, and then from this stack to this stack is 2021. Those will have very different values. Let's start with 2022, of course. Alright, so we have 6 full stacks of 99 goodie bag 2022 plus a stack of 51, putting us at 645 presents. Now, if we take that number and multiply that by 8,300, which is around the amount of that presents are going for at the moment, that puts us at 5,353,000. So that should look like this over on the calculator, putting us up to 79 million. Now moving on to the 2021 goodie bags, which I have 4 stacks of plus 51, which is 447 presents, times they go for around, I want to say 17k at the moment, which is pretty solid. Really happy I picked up a fair bit of those. That's going to be plus 7.6 million, much better than I expected in a pretty quick, short amount of time, considering all things, only around 2 years or so, maybe less. That's going to put us at 86.6 million net worth so far. We also have 4 graveyard particle effects at 320k a piece. That's plus 1.28 million. Like that. There you go. Putting us up to 87.9 million, almost 88 million. And then we have some scattered lucky red envelopes. These were actually gifted to me by best friends. So quick little shout out to him. I'm excited to calc up the value of these. These are actually going to be pretty shocking in my opinion. The recent lucky reds are already around 100k, probably because of that white rabbit plushie, which is pretty interesting. So, I mean, that's a solid 800k right there we'll add on to the calc. And they have to check all the other ones from the different years. So first we have 2 from 2022. Let's check that really quick. They're coming in also at around 100k, it looks like. That's an easy plus 200k. Pretty simple stuff over on the calculator. You love to see it. Next up is 2021. We're going in reverse order because they should go up in price, but it does look like I'm going to count these at an in-between because these have only been listed for a day, and these should probably be worth a little more than this. So I'm going to count these at around 120k. I think that's fair, especially since I only have 4 of them. That's going to be plus 480k right there for that stack. We're almost done the lucky red envelopes. We just have these 2 from 2020. And these bad boys go for 240k a piece. So that's another plus 480k, which is super solid to have that back to back. There we go, putting us almost at 90 million. We're about to break that barrier. Now we do have 3 mystery boxes, which seem to go for 50k a piece, but I don't know if they actually sell for that price, but we'll add 150k. I think that's probably pretty fair. Hopefully they'll at least have that value. It puts us over to 90,073k. And I know it may seem like we're running out of steam, but don't worry, we still have pumpkin goodie bags to cover, and then we also have all of the Xmas presents and Santa presents to cover. So I have 40 pumpkin goodie bags from 2021, and those go for 80k a piece, putting us at plus 3,200,000 Pokeyen, so 3.2 million right there. There's that 93 million number. And the Red Dragon Particle Effect, a pretty expensive particle effect considering all things, especially coming out so recently. It was a limited time one, probably the coolest particle effect in the game, in my opinion, sitting at a solid plus 1.7 million Pokeyen. So we're almost at 95 mil, and then I have these red envelopes to cover. Now, red envelopes from the recent event are only around 4,800 a piece, and I only have 99 of them, so that's around 475k. Pretty small number there considering all things. But that does put us over the 95 mil mark. Let's check the 2022 envelopes first. Now I have 52 of those, and they go for around 8,600 a piece, and that's 447k. And then I have 6 of the 2021 envelopes, which go for 11k a piece, so that's a pretty easy plus 66k. Thankfully, we can all probably do that math together. There we go, putting us at 95,961,000. We're always just on the brink of the next milestone. Next up is Santa presents, which I only have 1 of for 2022 and then 3 of for 2020. The singular one from 2022 being at plus 63k, putting us over that 96 mil mark, and then the other 3 from 2020 being around 170k apiece, giving us 510k on that stack right there. Over on the calculator, putting us at 96.5 mil. Now on to the Shiny Kanto Friends particle effect, another one of my favorites in the game. I don't really have many of my favorite particle effects that I own that aren't my favorite, if that makes sense, but those are around 1.9 mil a piece, and I only have 1. But you know what? 1 is 1.9 mil, so you can't really complain too much about that. You add that over onto the calculator, there we go, plus, and then 98.4 mil is what we're currently at. I also do have around 131 skull fossils, which go for 6,900 a piece, which is around 900k, so I thought it's worth to go ahead and include those, even though I will be consuming those for a chance at shining Cranidos. That's kind of the point of all of this. Even though a lot of this is going to be used or consumed for other things, I could technically just liquefy it all, sell it all, and make this money. It's really what net worth comes down to. Now, let's go ahead and move on over to the spider webs particle effect. Now, I got these when I came back to the game after a long break, and I probably bought them for 80k a piece. They were just the cheapest particle effect in the game, and that's why I bought them. Now they're 420k a piece. That's insane to me. I have 3 of them. So these 3 spiderweb particle effects that I probably bought for 200k in total back when I bought them are now worth 1.26 million Pokeyen. It is crazy how much money you can make investing in PokeMMO. And that will look like this on the calculator, and that, ladies and gentlemen and people of royalty, will put us over the 100 million net worth mark. It's pretty crazy that I can reach this number, especially considering all of the terrible financial decisions that I made back in the day during my PokeMMO career. I've been playing the game for a very long time, a lot of which when I was like 14 to 16. I made terrible financial decisions back then. I sold everything to gamble. Don't do that. Just keep earning generational wealth slowly like this, and you'll be able to buy whatever you would like in PokeMMO one day. But enough of that spiel. Moving on, we have the spinning scythe particle effect. No idea how much that's worth. That was once again one of the cheap ones like the spider webs. Same with this zombie drip one coming up. Spinning scythe is as well around 400k. That's crazy to me. Once again, these were just the cheapest particle effects in the game. I just bought them just because I wanted to have some, because they were a new item to me. Bought them for 80k, maybe 60k even a piece. Zombie drip is as well 400k, so we add another 400k on top of that, putting us at 1.14 million Pokeyen. Now, that's all the particle effects. We do have all of these Xmas presents to cover, and we even have 6 2018 ones, which I'm excited to price check. Alright, we have a couple different types of Xmas presents to price check. I actually only have 13 from 2022, so let's do that first. 13s times the 6,500 they go for is only around 85k, so we'll add that over onto the price check, and we'll check the 2018 ones next, I guess. Now let's go in order. I like going in order by counting down, so let's do 2021. Now for 2021 presents, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 99 stacks, and then a 55 stack. I don't know why they're separated like this. I'm surprised the 55 stack isn't like on either of the ends. It's kind of in the middle, kind of funny. So the 5 stacks plus the 55 is equivalent to 550 of these presents, and these are worth around 14k a piece. So if we do 550 times 14k, that's going to put us at 7.7 million, much more than I expected. So it's going to look like this over on the calculator and put us up to almost 110 million. Now let's do the fun one. We have the 6 of 2018 Xmas presents. Yup, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's go ahead and check the price on those. 325k a piece or so. I'll just calculate around that 325k mark times 6. That's going to be around plus 2 million Pokeyen. We'll just guesstimate and do that flat. Now we're over that 110 at 111 million. All right, but that is actually most of our main items. Now we still have other stuff to cover. Let's go ahead and move on and see what else. Let's not miss anything. We also still have my entire vanity section to go over. This is going to be a long video. Not to mention my entire PC. Hopefully you guys have a snack and a drink with you and are in for the long haul. Alright, let's start with the XP candies, I guess. Most of these items aren't worth too much. I have 83 of these, and they're around 4,800 a piece. It's around plus 400k. I have 10 mediums, around 4k a piece, going to be an easy plus 40k, not going to worry about the math too much. This is where we really start to guesstimate. Now the XP candy extra large are worth a surprising amount. I have 38 of them and they're 15k a piece, or 14,500 a piece, excuse me, which is equal to 551,000 Pokeyen. Honestly, more than I expected. I don't know if I'm going to worry about these smaller extra smalls. Maybe I'll calc the extra smalls really quick. The extra smalls are around 1,500 a piece. I have around 300 of them, plus the smalls. We'll just average it out at around 300k. That's way lower, or a bit lower than what it's actually worth. But once again, easy math is what we're looking for when we're calculating this many numbers. I do have 21 full restores, which are worth around 189k a piece as well. I'll go ahead and calc that. I feel like it's worthwhile. Why not? Almost 200k or so. And these 5 are untradeable, so don't worry. I'm not missing out on those. Let's go ahead and keep moving on. If a stack is worth less than 100k, I think that's when I'm going to go ahead and start skipping it, like these max potions here. Now, of course, my most prized collection, my Moo milk collection. I have around 600 total glasses of Moo milk, and they do go for around 900 a piece. I'm going to lowball kind of. That is, obviously no one would ever buy this, and I would never sell them, of course, my most prized collection. That would be worth around 540,000. So, hilariously enough, I do have over 500,000 Pokeyen worth of Moo milk. And then rare candies are kind of a big one. These 2 stacks are untradeable, so I do have 20 tradable rare candies to calc, which are quite cheap at the time of recording since there's been so many events and we're towards the end of event season, going for around 9k a piece. I'm just going to go ahead and do the easy math and do the plus 180k. Obviously a little less than what they're worth, and they'll go back up in price within time, but it's not for the time of this video. I also have a ton of revives. I actually keep these around just in case I need to revive juggle when trying to catch a shiny Pokemon. So they're 3,200 a piece. I have 61. It's around plus 200k or so. Add that on really quick. We're at 113.5 million Pokeyen. I also have a metric shit ton of all of these vitamins. Now I'm just going to calc all of these at 2k a piece. That is extremely low, but it's going to be the easiest math for my little monkey brain. After adding them all up, I had around 248, I believe, vitamins, and that's going to put me at 496,000 Pokeyen. So we'll count that at 500,000 or so. Here's that plus 500,000 for the vitamins. Once again, a very huge guesstimate. I'm going to ignore the X items, not going to worry too much about that. Pokeballs. Do we really tackle this subject? You know what? I think I have to. So we have around 475 or so Pokeballs. This times 190, which is what I would sell them for, right under the price you would buy them for from a shop, so that a player would actually have a reason to buy them. Puts you at 90k. So we'll add 90k for all the Pokeballs I have. We have a ton of stuff. Great balls. I don't know if we'll calc everything. You know what? Screw it. If you guys made it to this point, you're in for the long haul, so you probably want to see every little dime. Let's get to it. The way that I'm going to calculate every price of each Pokeball is taking the base price that you would buy them for from a shop and essentially subtracting 10 Pokeyen. That's usually around what they sell for, unless they're a very useless Pokeball or they're a ball that can't be bought from the shop, like a Premier Ball. So this is around 113k worth of Great Balls, so we'll add that. Now 113 Ultra Balls times 1100, which is the price I would sell them for, is 124k, so we'll add that, of course, over on the calculator. There we go. We're at 114 million point 4 so far. Dive Balls I'm going to skip over and not worry about. Dust Balls do have a bit of value. 107 Dust Balls times around 1300 or so is worth around 128k, so we'll add that over on the calculator. We're pushing towards that 115 mil milestone. Heal Balls are just something I would sell to a shop for that 250 Pokeyen price each. That is still plus 35k or so, so I'm going to go ahead and add that really quick. Then we have Luxury Balls, my favorite Pokeball probably. We have 542 Luxury Balls times 900 Pokeyen, which is the price I would sell them for, is equivalent to 487,000 Pokeyen. We have easily over a mil just in my bag in Pokeballs, easily over, especially once we start getting to those repeat balls and timer balls. We're going to have a ton. Nest Balls I'm not going to worry about. Net Balls I'm not going to worry about. Now onto Premier Balls. These are a pretty special one. These come from event loot boxes and crates like the red envelopes and such. These cannot be bought from a shop, and it is towards the end of the event season. I've seen these as high as 8k a piece. Right now, they're sitting at 500 Pokeyen a piece, so extremely cheap. I have 326 of them times 500 a piece. It's only, honestly, more Pokeyen than I expected, 163k. Adding that over on the calculator, we also have a stack of quick balls, which we're going to go ahead and just add 100k for. Pretty easy. Once again, a nice guesstimate. Now over on to repeat balls. These are big money. 617 repeat balls times 1490 is what I would sell them for. Very desired ball. Comes out to 919,000 Pokeyen. Looks like this on the calculator, and that puts us over to 116 million. Now we have the timer balls as well. Around 552 timer balls times 1100 Pokeyen apiece leaves us with plus 607,000 Pokeyen, putting us up to 116,845,000 Pokeyen net worth. Now that's all the Pokeballs, since obviously Master Balls are untradeable. The tough thing here is with TMs. I'm not going to calc every single TM. There's probably a bunch in here that are worth 30k, but there's only one of them. I'm going to scroll through, find the big number TMs that are worth big money, and do a hard guesstimate. For example, I have like 32 Hurricane TMs, which are worth around 3k a piece, maybe 2k a piece. I do have 30 Sludge Bombs as well, which are worth around 5k a piece. That's pretty solid. One Earthquake here and there, one Stealth Rock, etc., etc. A Shadow Ball. What else do we have? Some Flamethrowers. I'm going to probably just guesstimate. I have like 130 Giga Drains. That's a funny one. 130 Giga Drains alone is worth around 650k. I'm going to go ahead and do a hard guesstimate and say that all of my TMs combined are worth around 1.2 million. That's the number that I'm going to come to. I think that's pretty fair. I have some Ice Beams as well. Hopefully you guys can see where that value is at. That was 650k alone, and I have another stack similar to that. We'll rock with that number and just go ahead and move on. The only thing here to calc is Lepa Berries, I believe. Lepa Berries are 90k a stack, and I have 5 stack plus 4 more Lepas. We'll call it an easy plus 450k Pokeyen, and just go ahead and move on. Now over on to the Vanities, the big stuff, the complicated stuff. I'll see you guys after 3 hours of sorting. Just kidding, I'm going to force you guys to stay with me, and we're going to do it all together. One Bones cap is 50k. I'm going to skip over a lot of the boring gray stuff as well, if it isn't obvious. All the horns, the bows, etc. They're around 12k a piece if you sell them to a shop. Not really important. On to the Brown Werewolf. Brown Werewolf sitting at a solid 1.6 mil or so. Bunny Ears rocking in at around 1.2 mil. It's my signature look, if you aren't aware. Now moving on, we have some Fishing Caps. 7 Fishing Caps at 12,500 a piece is plus 87,000. Skipping the couple Futus I have, now that they're useless, they were made seasonal vanities. We have the Gray Werewolf Mask, sitting at around 2.8, 2.7 mil, much more than the brown. Putting us at 124 mil total. This is going to really bump up our numbers. We also have a Halo, which is around 1.2 mil. And this is going to put us over that 125 million mark. One Hellcat Hood, around 50k. Then we have a couple ice cream hoods, and these are hard to calculate because they're worth different amounts for different colors, but I'll do a guesstimate as always. 7 ice cream hoods at 75k a piece puts us at 525,000 Pokeyen. That's over 500k worth of ice cream. I've got 2 of those Iron Hero helmets. Those are around 57k a piece. We'll do plus 110k for that. And now on to my pride and joy, the Koban. How many Kobans do I have, do you ask? Not quite enough. I believe it's around 80 or so. Now, if you know PokeMMO, you know that each row is equal to 11. So we can say 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, and then 85, I believe, if my math is correct. 85 Kobans at 30k a piece comes out to 2, so plus 2.5 million in 50k on top of it, looking like this. Perfect, bringing us to 128 million. I bought all of these Kobans for 18k a piece. Scrolling past all those Kobans, I come down to my Mage's Hat, which is untradeable, but a fantastic item. And then we also have 2 Ox Horns, 2 Ox Horns, which are worth 150k a piece now. Didn't expect that, so that's 300k just from those. That's a nice surprise. We have some pink Christmas present hats as well, but they're really only worth around 25k for all 3 of them. I guess I'll throw it on the calculator. Then we have a bunch of junk items, a couple pointed hats, and then we come to the Poisonous Flower Hat. Now this is worth some money. Any golden vanity like this means it was from the gift shop and it cost RP, so it's always going to be worth something. This is worth around 3 million Pokeyen at the moment. Bringing us over that 130 mil mark. We keep going on. We see some caps. Now these might not be worth too much, but I'll have to double check and do a guesstimate. Wow, actually worth much more than I expected, around 22k a piece, and I think I have 12 of them or so. Now, the interesting thing with these caps is that if you can find them that are like red or blue, usually those are pretty expensive, and you can actually find those going for pretty good shmoney. And I do think I have a blue one. I have a blue one, and I believe a light red one. Those can go for a lot of shmoney. People do want those, and I have 2 blue actually. I'm really curious. The issue is it's pretty tough to search for them. You kind of just have to scroll through. Like, I don't think you can actually. I remember this being an issue. I complained about this when these came out. You actually can't search for them. You have to just scroll through and try to find the color you want. I didn't even see a single blue on the market at the time of recording, so this is probably one of the hardest price checked so far. I have 12 of them. I'm just going to average them at 50k a piece and say it's 600k for all of them, which is way more than I expected. But those blue ones that I have and that light red, I'm pretty sure might go for like 600k each on their own. I couldn't even find any of them on the market to compare them to. But anyways, moving on, we have the Psychic Training Helmet, the forgotten ultra rare of the 10-year anniversary event. Sitting at a pretty sad, pretty humble 1.2 mil at the moment. Definitely surprised people didn't like this vanity as much, but you really can't control the vanity economy. Now moving on to the Purple Cthulhu Mask. Only 3 on the market, kind of funny, around 2.7 mil. Moving on, we have 1 red present hat I'm not going to worry about, but then we do have some Oni masks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Oni masks. Once again, another underrated vanity in my opinion. 410k a piece times 5 comes out to around plus 2 million Pokeyen. You always love to see that. A nice huge bit. 138 million so far is our net worth. A nice Santa hat as well. A seasonal item, but still that's one that's very desired and you still have to buy off the gift shop. Going for a solid 1 million Pokeyen. 3 skull helmets from the recent Halloween event. Really cool vanity. Just 110k a piece, so that's plus 330k right there. 139 mil total, almost 140. Skipping past many teddy ears, it brings us over to the Tiger Hood, which are, to my surprise, 120k a piece. So that's 240k right there, leaving us just 40k away from 140 mil. Now we have some zombie heads, and I love this vanity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zombie heads, which are around 100k a piece, so that's nice and easy math for the brain, leaving us with 800k worth of zombie heads, putting us over that 140 mil barrier. Now moving down to hairstyles, I actually have 3 afros that I bought back in the day for around 25k a piece from the Celadon shopping mall. Nowadays, they aren't there. You have to buy them from the gift shop with RP, so those are worth around 600k a piece at the moment, so that's 1.8 mil worth of afros. Little stuff like that really adds up over the years, and that's how so much of your wealth is built in PokeMMO, just playing for a long time and picking up random stuff along the way and having fun. Now I've got 5 of these bug catcher nets, which are around 60k a piece, so we'll do plus 250k for that stack of 5. I was initially going to count my bunny tails one by one, but then I realized I had way more than I expected. 11, 22, 33, 43. 43 bunny tails times 20k a piece leaves us with 860k. After all the bunny tails, we reach the fairy wings. Let's see how much those are. Around 2 mil a piece, not too shabby. Only one of them, of course, though. But that is still going to give us a new milestone of 145 mil. I'm excited to hit the 150 mil mark. That would be nuts. I feel like usually when people ever ask me my net worth in PokeMMO, I usually tell them around 150 to 200 mil, and it looks like I was exactly dead on, so I'm pretty proud of that, not to flex too hard. I have a surprising amount of foxtails as well. I definitely don't remember buying this many of them, but I have 20 foxtails, which go for around 60k a piece. That equates to 1.2 million Pokeyen worth of foxtails. I'm shocked by that. I feel like I probably bought these for 20k a piece. Then we have some more RP vanities, the giant turtle shell and the glistening purple wings, which I picked up recently, which I have fallen in love with. The giant turtle is 2.8 mil, and then the glistening purple wings are 3.3. And that amount of Pokeyen, ladies and gentlemen, and people of royalty, is gonna put us over 150 million net worth. It only took me 10 years to reach this point, but hey man. Next up, we have the Hex Cloak. Now, this was actually donated to me. I don't remember how much this is worth. This was a really cool gift that someone just mailed me one day, and that looks to be around 3.1 million Pokeyen. I also have 2 Mage's Staffs, which, in my opinion, might be one of the most criminally underpriced vanities in PokeMMO. Let's check them out. Only 940k a piece. Is going to be around a plus 1.8 million price check on them. But yeah, just such a cool vanity that is really cheap in my opinion. They were around 7 or 8 mil at their peak during the Halloween 2021 event and only tanked since. The Paladin's Shield is a cool untradeable limited vanity item. We have some Pikachu tails here. 6 Pikachu tails, or excuse me, the pointed yellow tail, of course, for 60k a piece is an easy plus 360k right there. And then next up, we have this cool little thing, the Proto Pack, a forgotten and very cool vanity in my opinion. All the way from Halloween 2018 is sitting at 1.7 mil. I think I bought this bad boy for like 600k Pokeyen, not gonna lie. Next up, we have some, looks like 1 Xmas stocking, 2 Xmas stockings, 2 Xmas stockings. 80k a piece, so that's just plus 160k. But that does put us over the 160 mil mark. We got there really quick with these vanities. I also have 2 Retro Games handhelds, another really cool underrated vanity. Looking like 900k a piece, since this is slightly overpriced it seems. We'll do plus 1.8 mil for the both of them. Then we have 1 teddy bear, 1 tiger tail, and 1 Xmas gift sack, which are 1.5 mil, 100k, and 1.2 mil respectively. Wow, the Xmas gift sack has really shot up over some time, leaving us with that plus 2.8 mil for those 3 items right there. Leaving us with almost, once again, almost another milestone, 165 mil, almost 164 mil, 0.6 so far. Now moving on, we're almost done with the vanities. Now we just have the tops. I have a couple of these, 2 gloves, and then legs, and then the, of course, the best vanity in the entire game, the Christmas sleigh to cover. Alright, but tops first, we'll do the Bones uniform, which is only 50k. We'll add that really quick. 4 Bug Enthusiast outfits, 17k a piece. Just gonna count that at like plus 60k. But then we have something good, the Fire Dragon robes, of course, alongside the giant turtle shell and the Poisonous Flower hat, the Venusaur, the Blastoise, and the Charizard items respectively. They're currently sitting at 3.5 mil. I think these sold the worst during that sort of event period, and people actually really wanted them afterwards. So these have the highest value, I believe, of those 3. A lot of these tops aren't worth too much, but we do have 2 Hellcat costumes, 50k a piece, it's plus 100k. 1 fishing outfit, plus 20k, gone fishing. 1 Ice Cream Clerk outfits, plus 25k. But then we do have 1 Iron Hero costume, which is 100k each. Pretty nice. 1 Ox costume sitting at also 100k. I don't usually invest in the costumes, so I pretty much just have like 1 of everything. That's kind of how these things work. I might just go through and calculate them all up off screen, might show you guys 1 of what I have. I just don't usually care for the costumes, and I like collecting the big stuff like the heads and sort of random back slot items, etc, etc. I'll go through everything and then do it all off screen. I have 1 Pharaoh outfit, 1 pig costume, 1 pink Christmas present costume, 1 Team Rocket uniform, 1 Christmas present costume, 1 Shinigami robe, 1 superhero costume, 2 superhero costumes, 1 Tamer outfit, 2 Tamer outfits, 3, 4, 5 Tamer outfits, 1 Tiger costume, 1 light blue trainer jacket, a couple more trainer jackets of different varying colors, once again similar to the caps, which are tough to price check, and then 1 zombie costume. All of those outfits from the Pharaoh to the zombie costume come out to a total value of 2,535,000 Pokeyen, which looks like this on the calculator if you prefer the visual, and that'll put us to 171 million Pokeyen. The biggest price sort of out here was the pig costume, which I believe was 1.4 mil. The Pharaoh outfit was also 400k, and I AFK'd for too long. I guess that's what happens when you sit here price checking and ogling over your inventory instead of actually playing the video game. But back to the important stuff, aka not playing the game. We have 1 Lollipop and 1 Bone Club. The Lollipop being plus 190k, and the Bone Club being plus 100k. And the final vanity to price check, in my personal favorite out of the entire game, is the Christmas sleigh, which is currently at an astounding 4.9 million Pokeyen or so. I'll go ahead and do 4.8 since I don't even think it should be at that price, but that leaves us at 176 million Pokeyen, and that has fully covered everything in my bag. But do you know what else we have? So many Pokemon to cover. This is where I'm going to start guesstimating even more intensely. Alright, I'm going to start with all of the random Pokemon, and we'll do Shinies last. First things first, my gym run team, I'm going to hard guesstimate and do around 1.2, maybe 1 million Pokeyen is fair. Just for the cost of the Water Spout Blastoises and the Typhlosions, not trying to include the cost of choice bets, I think that's reasonable, putting us to 177 million Pokeyen. Now, each of these Meowths are 300k a piece. We'll say this Smeargle is 200k a piece. Let's put all these alphas and everything. Let's guesstimate the rest of this box to be another plus 1 million. Once again, it's probably more than this. However, I'm just hard guesstimating. I want to get through this as quickly as possible. We have an empty box. We have a ton of Cranidos. These Cranidos are probably worth some sort of base value of around 2k a piece, and I have tons of these. Let's count that really quick. All right, I have around 700 Cranidos in my boxes, which makes me want to throw up. But at 2k a piece, which is quite cheap, that leaves it at plus 1.4 million Pokeyen just for all these stupid Cranidos. And I'm pretty sure there's a couple in here with 1x31s that I didn't even calculate into the price check. But once again, we're not going to worry about that. Moving on. Alright, here's all the alphas, the Shaman, an extra alpha, 2 extra alphas I believe that weren't from the event, but just extra alpha catches, and 2 Moxie Gyarados that I caught during the Lunar New Year event. Shaman at the time of recording is going for around 2 mil, and I'll calculate each of these alphas maybe for 100k or so. Let's double check really quick. The way we can price check these is by looking for the Spirit of Spring particle effect and whether they are alpha or not. And yeah, around 110k or so is the cheapest. So let's just do plus 1.2 mil for all the alphas, but then the Gyarados is going to be worth a lot more. We'll do like 400k for that. So let's do 1.5 mil plus 2 mil or so, 3.5 mil plus these 3.6 mil plus these. I'm going to ballpark it. Let's do plus 3.8 mil for this whole box. I think it's more than fair. Probably could even push. Let's do 4 mil. I think 4 mil is more than fair. Once again, probably worth more than that, especially after I price it all out, putting us at 183 mil net worth. Once again, we're getting really into those ballpark ranges. I appreciate some charitability towards these guesstimates. Now I get to a random box with some random Pokemon. I've got a competitive Dotrio here, a competitive Chandelure, at least semi-competitive, docile nature. This is where things get tricky. Honestly, there's nothing really special in this box except for the Meowth. I'm going to say, like, that's 300k alone. With everything else, I'm going to ballpark it. Like, these alphas are worth some money. These have 3x31s and such. This is 300k. This is maybe a couple 100k. It's in Prison Memento. I'll do 600k on this box. Pretty low. All right, we're at 184 million. Moving on, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 more boxes left, and then we have the Shinies. Now, the tough thing with this box is there is actually a ton of niche, specific hidden ability Pokemon. These came from, I believe, the Halloween event and were only available during that. Stuff like Alpha Spiritomb, I'm pretty sure is worth millions of Pokeyen. We can double check that. Okay, just kidding. Really glad I double checked this. Looks like the cheapest Spiritomb is around 200k. What about Drifblim? Looking for these rare ones. 150k. What about Dusknoir? Let's check that really quick. 270k or so. Let's just go 200k for each of those. We've got 3 of those. This is just a normal alpha. So that's 600k. We have this Breloom, which is probably around 300k or so. What else do we have? We have a bunch of various stuff. Let's just do 1 mil on the box. I think 1 mil is fair. We also have a really good competitive Golbat up here that I've used a ton throughout my competitive play in NU, which was fantastic. I think 1 mil is more than fair. But once again, I think this Pokemon price checking part of this video is probably the one up for the most debate, which is only understandable. Moving on to UTs, there's a ton of good Pokemon in here, some 3x31 Shuckles, some good Shuckles, some Alphas. I've got like 4 Alphas over here that are, or 6, 7, 8, I totally missed these. Alpha Delibird, this thing is big money. At least the last time I checked it, let's go ahead and double check it to see what it's going for. Some of these can be insane. Oh, it's way less now. This was going for like 800k last I checked it. Okay, that's a good thing. Means I have a more accurate price check. Good to know. We also have a competitive Vanillite and a competitive Munchlax. This Munchlax alone is like 1 mil or so. It's got the eerie Howl particle effect I put on it purposefully. Breeding 1x31s on these are really expensive. It's sassy on purpose. It's a very specific breed. I think every single Pokemon in here has good IVs, maybe except for this Bidoof, which has 1x31, and like this Kidabra, which is a synchronized Pokemon with this Cryogonal as well. Other than that, I think every Pokemon in here should go for, I want to say 80k minimum, probably 100k minimum, but then once you throw in these Munchlax and Vanillix and stuff, things get complicated. I also have, I believe, a 4x31 Tentacle here that's Calm Nature with Rapid Spin, and if you know, this is really expensive. This is a tough box to price check. We're just going to guesstimate. I'm going to do 100k for each Alpha, which is pretty cheap on the lower end, I'd say. So that's 900k, and then I'm probably also just going to bump up 2 mil for these. I might be kind of over, but then I'm going to underestimate everything else to keep it kind of even. So 2 mil, probably around 3 mil or so essentially just with these 2 rows. And then considering every other Pokemon, there's about 35 to 40 other really high value Pokemon in this box. I think this total box value is going to come out to around 5 mil. That's counting each other Pokemon at around 80k average or so. And then scaling it down like minus 800k, minus 1 mil to make it really, really conservative. So I'm going to do plus 5 mil. That was the hardest box to price check so far for sure. That puts me at 190 mil. Now we get to these. Now these are NU comps and OU comps. These have kind of been unbelievably unsorted at this point, but these are all competitively done, pretty decent Pokemon, if not better, like Pokemon like this Scizor. It's obviously 5x31. Brave Nature though, but there's a huge mix here. I'm going to hard guesstimate here, and I'm going to calculate each of these competitive Pokemon to be worth at least 150k each. So I'm going to do 150k times 120, since it's 2 full boxes of Pokemon, aka 60 Pokemon per box. It's going to be a big number. But you have to keep in mind, once again, this is years worth of collecting competitive Pokemon. I have sold all of my comps many times over and over, and I always keep some. I think this one's from 2013. This one named Dusty Bunny, this Jumpluff, 2014. Very old competitive Pokemon I've been using for a very long time. Not as good as it used to be. Pretty shit, pretty shit, but it's cool to have, and it's cool to see stuff like that. Now, 120 times 150k comes out to 18 million Pokeyen. So that's what I'm going to do, plus 18 million, putting me at 208 million, and we still have the shinies left, and that's it for everything. We're almost done. Now, this has been an exhausting video to make. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it up until this point, and if you made it until this point, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and let me know by either liking the video or disliking whether you enjoyed today's content. Consider subscribing for daily PokeMMO videos. Check out my Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. EST, and let's go ahead and finish this price check. Now, the issue is I really wanted to sort these visually to show you guys kind of the price of each Pokemon, but they're sorted right now in chronological order in which I caught them, and I actually really don't want to mess that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially go through one by one and give you guys my price check, and I'll keep the calculator for how much everything costs on my phone on the side. I'm just going to guesstimate the average shiny, something like Stunfisk, is just 2 mil. A lot of these shinies I'm just going to call 2 mil and move on, very few of which are going to be special. Let's go ahead and start. Shiny Stunfisk, 2 mil, easy peasy, nothing special going on there. Even if it means something special to me, being my first shiny, doesn't matter in the place of the market. Now, Shiny Shuckle. This is a special one, immediately becomes special. It's around 30 mil base price is what I usually see it go for, so I'm going to factor that in, putting us plus 32. It's going to leave us at 32 million total is our price, not 32. So 32 million total, 30 mil for the Shuckle, 2 mil for the Stunfisk. Hoppip is just plus 2 mil, pretty simple stuff. Deerling is another plus 2 mil. Okay, let's actually just go ahead and do it over here on this calculator as well. So we'll do plus 36 mil, which is our total number so far. Add that. We also have Surskit, which is plus 2 mil, nothing super special. Next we have Exceldor, not a special shiny. Once again, just plus 2 Pokeyen. Go ahead and copy and paste this to make it a little faster. Minccino, another plus 2 million, nothing special. Quagsire, now this is actually quite good. Competitive shiny Quagsire, 2x31. I'm gonna call this plus 4 mil, maybe even plus 5. We'll do plus 4 mil. I think that's only fair. Should look like that. There we go. 254 million so far, insane. This next one, Grimer, once again pretty competitive, 20 plus in every stat. I'll have to check this one honestly. If I just do the egg group, do shiny, and then do 31 speed with 20 plus in every stat, now that's way overpriced. Let's try 20 plus in speed as well. We see around 5 mil. That's honestly pretty accurate. Yeah, I'll do plus 5 mil for this. Seems crazy. We're almost at 260 mil right there with that. Now Vanillish, once again, a plus 2 mil. Pretty easy one. Nidoking, once again, just plus 2. Pretty simple. Druddigon, once again, 1 times 31, plus 2 mil. Some decent IVs, but not the craziest thing in the world. Now, this one, 2 times 31, Ponyta, 31 attack and speed. That'll be a quick price check. Field Egg Group, 2 times 31 in attack and speed. Shiny, that's all you need to worry about. Around 4 mil. That puts us at 269 million. So it seems like my price is actually much higher than I expected. This Golurk is probably going to be around plus 3 mil. I don't feel right doing it for 2 since it is a Golurk and it is adamant. It has some really great stats. This Marowak is just going to be plus 2 mil. Nothing special there. This Scolipede is 2 times 31. That probably is around 5 mil or so. We'll do 4 to keep it really safe and conservative. This Bouffalant, nothing special, just plus 2 mil. Pelipper, nothing special at all. Terrible Pokemon. Hate this guy, plus 2 mil. This Magikarp is named Akiways. That's the special part about it, but it's just plus 2 mil. Is Heatmore, no special stats. Once again, plus 2 mil. This Feel is 2 times 31 in Adamant. We'll price check this. Doesn't seem like I'm going to get a super accurate price check on this thing. I'm just going to call it 5 mil. I think that's only fair, putting us at 291 mil, plus 2 mil for this Slowbro, nothing special, and then this Grimer, definitely nothing special, plus the 2 mil. Now, I do have 2 other shinies down here, which are not my OT, so I thought it was important to, I guess, separate them. The Clink is only plus 1.2 mil. That's kind of the base price of shinies nowadays, the absolute minimum of minimum, but still a cool shiny in someone's OT. And then this Blossom is around 3 mil. Really cool, semi-competitive shiny Pokemon, and oh my goodness, that is gonna put us just shy of 300 million Pokeyen. And you know what? I almost forgot to factor in the 2 level 100s in my party alongside a level 100 Breloom with the catching moveset, alongside a Toxic Orb, which is 80k, alongside another level 100 Smeargle, which is built for catching Coughing. So if you ask me, in my personal opinion, this is definitely going to put my total net worth to right around 300 million Pokeyen. Did not expect it to be so on the nose. I also have 1.5 mil or so cash and a bunch of stuff to sell in my in my bag still, like all the pearls and pearl strings and everything and nuggets and such. But yeah, that's going to be the end of it. That's going to be at the end of this video. I have a lot of clips to sort through now and edit together. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a long one, but it's a fun thing to do and it's a fun number to know. 9 to 10 years or so of game time, or at least of playing this game on and off. Around 300 mil or so is my total net worth, which is much lower than your average veteran player. But hey man, you know what? At least I'm making good decisions now. Once again, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like it. It helps me out a ton with the algorithm. Subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow for streams. My Discord is linked down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support my content, if you've enjoyed enough hours of my content, the best way to support and allow me to keep doing this kind of thing every single day is YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and hitting up my PayPal/Venmo. That kind of support allows me to do what I do and allows me to continue full time, and you'll also get your name featured at the end of videos like this. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Go enjoy yourself and play some PokeMMO. Have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace. Yo, if you're watching this, that means you watched the entire video. So first things first, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And if your name is on this list, that means you go above and beyond and support the channel and allow me to do what I do every single day. Thank you so much and have a great day.